Come in.
Hello, Abby Rogers.
Abby.
Assistant Task Force Safety.
Kyle Woodley.
Want me to close the
Nice to meet
door?
you. Sure.
Okay. How's it going?
It's going very well.
Good, good. Staying dry? All this rain?
For the most part. I wish it would warm up a little bit.
I know. Yesterday was so nice, and now it's back to this. But I'll just get started. Thank you for your time. I told you it would be just about 15-20 minutes, so I want to get started. Before we do get started, I just want to put your mind at ease. What we do is very simple. There are no contracts, no recurring bills. You pay for what you get, something like that.
Perfect.
So just to give you a heads up, I've recently put together programs for Cummins Engines and Indiana State Fairgrounds, and they really just chose first aid and safety to increase their safety and OSHA compliance.
Okay.
So,
that makes sense.
yeah, so thanks for meeting with me. What I'd like to do today is ask you some questions about your business,
All right.
let you know a little bit about what we do, hopefully take a tour just to see how we can help you, and hopefully make a recommendation to do some business today.
Okay.
That sound okay?
Yes.
All right. So it's been my experience in the past that sometimes some of these decisions can take several people or several parts of the company. So are you the only one that needs to be in this meeting today?
Yeah, I will probably run it by my safety improvement committee.
Okay.
However, I will be the final decision maker as far as what we spend and how much we spend.
Okay.
So yes.
So does that committee meet monthly, or how's that?
Yeah, we meet once a month,
okay.
and we're composed of, we have some office partners, we have warehouse, and we also have, some of the delivery drivers that we have.
What kind of decisions does that committee make? Like, what are they usually responsible for?
Most of it is it's more of council, but anything that has to do with safety, it's more to bounce ideas off, and then the managers make a decision based on cost, effectiveness, that type of stuff.
Let's back up a little bit. Will you tell me a little bit about what you guys have going on safety-wise, or just tell me a little bit more about what you guys do here in general?
Yeah, we are a distribution facility.
Okay.
All right, so we distribute a variety of anything. From football jerseys to paper products. So we do a little bit of everything. But we distribute that stuff in-house. We have a fleet, and we have employees that will actually go deliver that stuff for us.
So you guys have an office staff, and then you have the distribution,
yes. So
you have the trucks.
Exactly.
Okay.
Office, warehouse, and then we also have trucks.
Okay, gotcha. So as far as that, what's your safety program throughout the whole facility?
Yeah, we have a first aid program right now through Z Medical.
Okay.
We've been using them for a lot of years. We have an AED on site, and we have monthly safety training programs through our employees, and then we have a traffic light in the back. It's a red, yellow, and green system. Green meaning
so that's good. That means you guys have it all kind of figured out.
Exactly.
Who keeps up with that stuff? Does Z Medical come in and make sure everything's going right, or?
Z Medical, we have our corporate program that I oversee, and then we also have through that corporate program we have Z Medical helping service our first aid cabinet.
Why did you guys originally choose to implement that program? Did something happen, or were you part of that decision?
It was before I got here. I've been here for 4 years. We've always had Z. We've been using them the whole time.
So you said you have those monthly or weekly training programs. Who's in charge of kind of doing that?
We have each of the employees teach the training classes, but again, it's something that I'll ultimately oversee from a compliance standpoint, and also making sure we have covered the material.
Does that take time, or what kind of training programs do they do? Is it just like first aid, or what do they usually go into?
We have 1 or 2 a month, so we have probably 18 topics, but they range anywhere from slip, trips, and falls to BVP to first aid and CPR to confined space. We do a little bit of everything.
Do you find that ever takes time from what their other responsibilities could be, having your employees here doing those trainings?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a large time investment.
Okay. And you think if there's an option to kind of relieve some of that from them and put on someone else, that would be an option, or that would be something you'd be interested in?
Yes.
Okay.
The hardest part of it is trying to track down those 2 or 3 people that missed the monthly class.
Right.
To get them up to speed.
All that record keeping and stuff like that. So who has the main responsibility of that?
Right now it falls on me.
On you, okay.
Yeah,
and are you also responsible for contacting the Z Medical person for any restocks or anything like that, or do they come and?
No, we've got to contact them a couple times, but they typically put so much product in there that we're good until they show back up. I want to say they come about every 5 or 6 weeks.
Do you feel like it's too much product and it's not very to you, or they're just kind of throwing stuff in there?
We've never ran out,
okay.
so we've never ran out. So we get a lot of product. We probably have more in there than we really need.
Yeah. Have you ever come, and I know maybe we could take a tour later so you can check out some of the cabinets and stuff like that.
probably isn't going to happen.
Okay.
We've got a lot of construction going on in the back.
Okay.
It probably wouldn't make sense for
I
us to go back there.
understand. Then as far as that, have you ever seen any expired dates? Because some of those first aid program or first aid things do expire in these cabinets. So you have come across that?
I know they have expiration dates. No, it's not something I really look at. I leave that up to Z.
Okay.
So that's what I pay them to do.
Yeah. So as far as what's inside the cabinets, what do you see that you're using the most, or do they just put everything in there? It doesn't matter what you necessarily are using.
It's been a while since I've really reviewed the invoices in detail.
Yeah.
I think we typically spend about $100 to $150 bucks,
Mm-hmm.
and that's anything from.
And that's every 5 weeks that they come, or?
Every 5 or 6 weeks, I think they're on the cycle.
Okay.
And that's for everything from pills to Band-Aids, you name it. We got a little bit of everything in there.
So when Z Medical comes and they bring the Band-Aids and stuff like that, do they ever because you're in the distribution and you have probably forklifts and all that stuff, you need your hard hats and your gloves, do they offer any of that stuff as well?
I've never talked to anyone about it now.
So who's in charge of kind of getting that side of the safety program?
That would be Cindy.
Okay.
She works back in the.
Okay.
She kind of oversees the production area.
So would she be the one that's actually ordering the materials then?
Yes.
Okay.
She does all the purchasing.
Okay. Let's see. So walk me through an emergency situation. Say somebody has a big cut, or like what's the process? Do you have emergency responders, or how does that all work?
Yeah, we have first responders on both first and second shift.
Okay.
I want to say we have 3 for each shift. They're responsible primarily for responding to the accident.
Okay.
Everybody's up to speed on that certification, and typically we have a first aid product back in the warehouse area.
Okay.
We go get the supplies and try and respond to the incident.
Okay. Well, I think I have a little bit better understanding. You said you also have the AEDs.
Yes.
How does that work? You got those through V Medical as well?
Again, that's something that we got prior to me being here. So it's prior to that. It's a Welsh Allen unit. We don't know a whole lot about it, but we've always had it.
So you, haven't had any training or anything, you're not really familiar with the unit?
Not with that particular unit, no.
So say there was an emergency, who would be comfortable with even driving the AED?
We probably would call 911.
Yeah. So it's almost like you have it just to say you have it, but not really being used. Okay. That makes sense. All right, so now let me kind of talk about what we do.
Okay.
Like I said, Cintas First Aid and Safety. And what we like to go by, see if I can find this particular, sorry about this. We go by an acronym SAFE. If I can just find it in my bulletin. Well, we do customized safety solutions. So we have 4 different segments. First aid, training and compliance, so that would cover anything as far as the monthly or weekly trainings that you're doing by your employees now. We could handle that.
Okay.
We also do all the safety stuff as far as helmets, gloves, glasses, all of that.
Okay.
And we also do the AED in emergency. And so we have training programs for that. We don't just give you the AED. We walk you through steps and make sure you know how to use that.
Okay.
So if this is something, as you can see, we're one single source solution, so that's kind of what we strive to be for that.
Okay.
So.
Got it. Does that AED have a screen on it?
Yeah, and actually, because we have 2 options. This is the newer one, which I would recommend hands down, because it's very simple already. It's 1 button, 1 touch system. But this one, you can see and hear what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So it's almost dummy-proof, and it's the fastest one on the market as well. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So let me show you our cabinet, and it's probably very similar to the Z as far as looks right off the bat.
It's bigger.
But what we do at Cintas is you'll have a service rep who comes out we'll come in to kind of assess the situation and see how often that they would need to come out. Maybe every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, we'll just play it by ear. And so what they do on the side here is so they'll sign it and date it, so you always know it's been checked.
Okay.
And so David Hodges will come out.
All right.
And what you see here is there's a barcode. So he'll come scan it, and we have everything already predetermined what you need or what you get stocked on regularly.
Okay.
So we're not just throwing anything in there that we see so we can charge you for it. We see that, your fingertip bandages are out, so we'll add 5 more. We don't just throw a whole thing in there. Because we want to help you, and that's what the whole goal is.
Okay.
So as you see, what's kind of the first thing that you notice about the whole cabinet?
The first thing that I noticed is the identification cards. I know we don't have that in our Z cabinet. Sometimes it's hard to tell what product you actually have.
Yeah. So as you see, we have a color-coded system. So it starts with the red, which are all emergency products. So
Okay.
that's your bandages, or your quick ice packs, stuff like that. Then you move on to the green products, which are all your bandages. So
Okay.
we range from, we don't just give you a bandage, we have the fingertip bandages, which I would get up for you. It's extra long,
Okay.
so it wraps around more than once, which is awesome. Well, that's actually the extra long strip. Fingertip bandage, you know how hard it is to get it cut on the top?
Yeah.
You can literally wrap it around, so it's one bandage rather than having 6 around the top.
We have a lot of that too with
Yeah.
the handling of product.
Yeah. So you definitely see a value in that, kind of just one, everything has a purpose.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Then also we have the tablets, which some people aren't comfortable with, but the way we do it is it's one dose in each thing, so that makes it safe to give.
Okay.
Each single one has an expiration date on it.
Okay.
So, and everything has a drug fact on the back. So that's
Okay.
kind of what limits the liability of having the tablet.
So if it's expired and somebody walks in here, like an ocean inspector or corporate, who checking it? Is it my checking that?
Nope,
Do you
that's
guys
when
check that?
David Hodges, who will be your service rep, comes out and he checks everything in the cabinet.
Okay.
So you never have the responsibility of that. And so, like, these things have expiration dates. Nothing will be expired because that's part of his responsibility.
Okay.
So really the only responsibility you would have is to come use the product. So.
You pay the bill.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Okay.
But do you see the definite value in taking that time off your plate and not ensuring that things are expired and stuff like that too?
Well, the program definitely looks more professional and cleaner than what we currently have set up. I don't spend a lot of time with it, but just the initial appearance of it is.
Yeah. And I think
impressive.
that's something that needs to happen in a first aid. It needs to be clean and professional. He also comes and cleans it all because things get dirty out in the warehouse and out in the distribution center.
Yeah.
So he'll spray it off, disinfect everything because you don't want somebody obviously with a torn up hand to come open this and get more infected.
Okay.
So moving on from the tablets, we have all your eye wash, which are blue. So quick in each eye, real quick. And then we also have the single eye drops, which you just open, pop them in. That's even for somebody in the office who's been staring at the computer too long. So
Okay.
it's great, easy, everything's explained. And then you move on to your more comfort items, which are the pinks, the lip aid ointment when it's hot out there and it's dry, dental relief, things like that. And then also you can upgrade with some certain Elite products, some of the more name brand products like that. And then on to the purple items as well, or just your first aid creams and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you said, you said that you have those weekly training meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this book literally walks you through everything, explains you how to apply a bandage, how to use gauze, everything like that. So
Okay.
you can use this book. And it also comes with a free DVD to explain everything as well. So you can use that as a separate training as well.
Okay. Would we be able to use this? You said his name is David?
Yeah.
Would he be able to show us?
Yeah.
If I wanted to have him present to our SIC?
Yeah. Even if you wanted to schedule it every time he came to do a separate training, we could do that. One time, just the first time he comes, whatever. We're trying to make this work for you.
Okay.
So, do you definitely see, what's the biggest value that you would see in this versus your current system?
Well, just the overall, I give this to our employees as a benefit to them, and I want them to show that I take safety seriously. This to me is a much more professional program than we currently have in place.
Okay, so.
That's to me probably the biggest value at this point.
And I think also you kind of touched on the one-source solution. Cindy's ordering that stuff. You're not really aware of what's being ordered
Right.
as far as that. When he comes in his truck, or his van, is stocked with helmets, gloves, glasses. So anytime you guys are running low, you can just ask him, he can bring them into you.
Okay.
And that can range from even more advanced stuff like that as long as we get it figured out ahead of time.
Okay.
So I'll close this for you.
Well, let me add one more question
Yeah.
before you close it. The like we don't currently supply a non-aspirin or the pain away. We
Okay.
just do the ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Are we able to take some of those out,
Yeah.
and are we able to, like, all the women in the office are asking for cramp relief? Is that something we can put in exchange for these? Or?
You can customize it however you'd like. It's
Okay.
all, everything has a single price, so that's kind of how that all works as well.
Okay.
So, whatever works for you, we can make it happen.
Okay.
So, any more questions before I put this down?
No, that's
Okay.
good.
All right. Big old thing.
This is a big cabinet.
Yeah. So, as far as my recommendation for you, I didn't necessarily see the building, but just kind of understanding what you told me, I would recommend having one of these cabinets in the office and one out in the distribution center. So we can get that done if you'd like, because you said that if I could show you kind of a more system that would work for you, take some time off your plate, more professional, more compliant system that we could do some business today. So 2 cabinets will run you $600.
Okay.
Would you like to sign up today?
What is the, I understand the $600 up front.
Mhm.
What's it going to cost me going
Yeah.
forward?
And that's when the real savings happens, because you come stocked, fully stocked with everything. And so when David Hodges comes and sees, oh, you've only used about 4 bandages, some eye wash, and a cold compress, he'll just restock those items. And those are each individually priced.
Okay.
So he'll literally do the scanner and add those things in, and it could just run you $10 to $50 each time. So
Okay.
somewhere in that range.
And there's not a trip charge? Like,
Nope.
Nothing, you guys
Yeah,
don't
any
charge anything?
cancellation fee, if you don't want us to come out anymore, we just stop coming.
Okay, what about for you just to show up though? If you do come,
Mhm.
you're saying it's not
Nope.
it's not $25?
Yeah, there's no actual delivery charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, so want to get signed up today? We could get the cabinets here next week.
I like what you guys have to offer, but I guess I look at it from, we've got so much stuff going on.
Mhm.
We're doing a little bit of renovation right now.
Okay.
We're short 2 people. The pain it's going to take, like this is not going to be a priority for me to switch it over because I already have Z Medical's
Okay.
first aid product in
Right.
here. So what can you guys do to make it easy for me to decide to go with Cintas versus Z Medical?
One thing that we could do, if you have cabinets that are very similar to this, we can let you run the Z Medical products that are in date. We can come and take everything that's out of date, and we can just eventually stock our items into those cabinets.
Okay.
And eventually, maybe a couple of months down the road, we'll actually replace the cabinets once it's all Cintas products.
Okay.
So would that make things kind of easier for you?
I would, but how would I get I like the appearance of the labels. Are you going to be able to put those into the Z cabinet?
Everything comes with the labels. We can put those on, and right when or we could put our cabinet in and just put the Z Medical products in ours until they run out as well. So whatever you would like, we can make that happen.
So you would just swap out the cabinets, we keep the existing product?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we responsible for installing those cabinets?
Nope, we will have somebody come out next week. We have a professional installer, does a great job, brings his own drills, cleans up his mess afterwards. So
Okay.
we'll give you a poster the size of this, so you can put it wherever you want it, so you don't have to bother anybody over there either.
Okay.
That sound good to you?
That sounds good. Let's move forward.
All right, so just sign right there. I'll sign you up for 2 cabinets.
All right.
I'll leave you my card as well if you have any questions in the meantime. I'll probably get back with you later this week just to schedule a install.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you very
Sounds
much.
good. Thank you. Appreciate it.